Welcome to this detailed user guide for the Innovation Database. Let's start by doing a search for something quite specific. This is not the full data set, but there's plenty in here for us to show you the database working. And we're going to select all the different elements to get the ball rolling. So we have obviously universities, laboratories, companies associated with universities or laboratories, offers, that's to say technologies being promoted by universities, their patents, projects where they're working with industry, and any finished products. We're going to select all for the moment. And let's say we're interested in batteries. So we'll select cell and battery. And the first thing to notice, of course, is there's lots of animal cells in here and plant cells, which we don't want. So we're going to select the things that are specific to do with batteries, like this. And here, in the expand mode, all of these different categories are included. But importantly, biotech and medical is out, and so you see that we have lost the animal cell words. Adding the thesaurus will bring up additional results where there are words related to cell or battery, such as fuel or actuators or things like that, that we haven't actually written in. We're going to make this more complicated. Let's say we are definitely not interested in lithium. And let's say we are specifically interested in items that mention precisely the word cobalt. And run the search again. And now we have cell or battery not containing lithium and precisely the word cobalt. And we've got a few hundred results. Let's have a look-see where these are based. We can switch from the technology list to the organisation list like this, and we can see the various universities, and clicking on them here brings up a list of the technologies, like so. Or we can go into a map and have a look to see where the various active universities are based. Here we can see many of the places we might have expected for things like this. There's activity in the US, a lot in China, and Middle East and Europe. But how about this one down in South Africa? So it turns out the University of the Witwatersrand is also got something in here. If we are interested to find out about them, we can click the link directly in here, which takes us to their page where they talk about the technology transfer work. Or if we actually want to talk to somebody, we can go straight to their contact page. However, let's add them to the list and see what it is they've come up with. Going back into the listing page, we can see the item they've produced, an iron implanted hard metal carbide cold sprayed something rather exciting, and clicking the link will take us to the description where we can find out as much about it as we may want. Okay, let's say we want to come back out of that and widen the search back out. So now we have all the universities, but let's say we did this work previously, a year ago, and we're refreshing what we've worked on. So let's just select things that are new from the last 12 months. And again, we can see the list of universities, a lot in China. We can load more here. Still more Chinese universities. again. There we go. Or indeed we can go back to the map. But it's very clear that if we're talking about the last 12 months in this specific area, that with the exception of a small number of activities in the US, all the work is being done at the moment in China. Northwestern has filed 1 patent. Iowa has 1 offer. And Brigham Young has 1 offer also. Maybe we're interested to see what they've got. And let's add them to the list and return here. Again, if we want to contact anybody, we can click the link directly in the entry, and there's the contact information for the people who work in the tech transfer office. And if we want the details of what they've produced, again, this is their own description of what they've come up with and who to contact and so on. Okay, now let's reset the search and do something that's less specific. Again, we'll select everything and we'll take out the age restriction. Let's say we're just curious to find out who's doing what with graphene. That's here, and search. We'll go to a map and have a look, and clearly there's activity all over the world related to graphene. Let's have a look in the Middle East. There's quite a lot going on in Saudi Arabia, which might have been a surprise. Not such a surprise, there's some work going on in Israel, Ben Gurion University, and also the Hebrew University. So I'll add them to the list. Again, if we want to go and find out contact information, we can do that very easily. But let's add some more. Maybe we're interested in this university, or perhaps this French university. And we can build up the list of things that we want curious to have a look at just by clicking like this, and they get added over here as we are going. Switching back to the list view then produces the list of universities we've selected. We can see them all as one long list of technologies if we prefer. Bookmarking anything that looks like it might be of interest, where we can go back and check it later. Or if the entire search is definitely of interest and we're going to be constantly interested to see what these institutions are coming up with, we can save the entire search as with this button here. Appears in the saved searches area. We can run it again whenever we want, but more importantly, the system will run this search every week and send an update with all the latest technologies that are added. The database completely refreshes every 2 weeks, and we are anyway adding ever more universities month by month, so there will always be new items coming into the dataset. If we wanted to get very specific now in our area of activity, so we're interested in graphene, but let's say we're specifically interested in it, in its applications in energy, then we can drill down in that way here, and we can see who's using graphene in energy applications. Again, not surprisingly, a lot of activity in China, also here in Japan, Singapore, presumably that is, again in Israel, Europe, Cambridge. Maybe we've had a good experience with Cambridge before. There's the team. And again, we can add those in and drill in to see what they're offering. They have 2 descriptions of technologies they've developed. And again, clicking the link takes us to Cambridge Uni. It's rather a short description that time. Sometimes they're longer, sometimes they're shorter. If you're curious to look back on the work you've done, the search history shows the different searches that you will have run recently. This describes whether you're looking for synonyms using that thesaurus function or not. In this case, we weren't, of course. We're always happy to help, so if you have any questions at any time, please do let us know, and we'll see if we can set up a session with you to walk through a few examples, or if there's something that's not working the way you would like it to, or that you can see we could improve, please do feedback, and we're always keen to hear from people. Many thanks.